Good morning. We are live. Let's give everybody a few moments to join us. Great to be with you. Little technical difficulty this morning we had to work through. Ah, so Monday morning, here we go. It's great to have everybody join us this morning. Let's give everybody just a few moments to join. Uh, Hope everybody's having a great Monday. It's finally warming up a little bit down in Texas. I saw that Dallas will have a temperature in the 70s today. That's probably got to be welcome. Some of you were living in really, really cold temperatures for a few days. I feel a little bit like Ted Cruz. I went to Cancun. I went to Maui. Ramon and I went to Maui to celebrate our 46th wedding anniversary. It was like the honeymoon we didn't take 46 years ago. It was just awesome. We've been there a few times, and we did everything you can do, from the helicopter to the road to Hana. We just had a wonderful time together. The thing that I enjoyed the most were the rich, deep conversations we had about life and about this particular scroll we're going to take on this morning. Scroll number 4, I'm nature's greatest miracle. I'm so excited to open up our minds to what Og is trying to tell us. We know these scrolls were all written in one night, which is incredible. To have the depth and the structure that this particular scroll has. Now, many of us, when we think about nature's greatest miracle, that's ourself, that's our self-esteem, how we feel about ourselves. We have a tendency to focus on worth and worthiness, even sometimes dwelling on past mistakes. Or we can focus on our ability or a lack of ability, or our ability in comparison to someone else, our wealth or lack of wealth in compared to someone else, our body in compared to someone else, our education. We can also have questions about our character because we're not being perfect, which is not possible. We're human beings, but we can beat ourselves up for falling short of that expectation. We can also question the value of our contribution. I feel like we need to sacrifice our time and our energy and even our well-being to serve everyone. Sometimes driven by who else could do it as good as me and they deserve the best, to I got to keep doing it to somehow prove I'm okay. Wow, this dialogue and self-esteem can be so destructive. Og is giving us an entirely different view of this part of us, our self-esteem. And he starts off with an incredible invitation. And buried in this invitation may be some answers to some of your questions, as simple as it is. He says, since the beginning of time, never has there been another with my mind, my heart, my eyes, my ears, my hands, my hair, my mouth. None that came before, none that live today, and none that come tomorrow can walk and talk and move and think exactly like me. All men are my brothers, yet I am different from each. I am a unique creature. And by the way, I was studying something this weekend, and it was fascinating. The word man used in the scripture, the Greek word for it is both male and female. So the translation of the word from Greek to the King James Version, for an example, in later translations, man meant mankind. It meant all human beings. And Og, in 1967, was thinking the same way. So please don't be offended with his political insensitivity, perhaps, in today's world. But all, women and men, are unique. And each is different from each other. That's an interesting perspective, because if we want to be like them, we're in violation of the very principle that we're unique. They're unique. Everyone's unique. And then he tells us this: although I am of the animal kingdom, animal rewards alone will not satisfy me. Within me burns a flame, which has been passed from generations uncounted, and its heat is a constant irritation to my spirit to be better than I am. I will fan these flames of dissatisfaction and proclaim my uniqueness to the world. There's that word again, unique. Now he carries it one step further. He says, vain attempts to imitate others no longer will I make. Imagine making this decision today, is taking your clay, your life, this is you, and saying, I choose me. And I think I've shared with you before, one person in an audience, when I shared that, said, but you don't know what my clay looks like. And I said, well, it's your clay. Our mission is to take the uniqueness of our clay and create the most we can with it. Not in comparison to anyone else. This is the clay we've been given. These are our life circumstances. This is our physicality. This is whatever might be our life. We take that clay and I choose me. Instead, I will place my uniqueness, that word again, on display in the marketplace. I will proclaim it. Yea, I will sell it. I'll begin now to accent my differences, hide my similarities. So too will I apply this principle to the goods I sell. Salesman and goods, different from all others. I'm proud of the difference. I am rare. Wouldn't that be a much better way to start the day? I am rare. What an affirmation. Instead of, I don't have, or I made this mistake, or I wish it had been different. I am rare. And therefore, there is value in all rarity. Therefore, I am valuable. I would highly recommend, if you can get access to this, you can go to Mandino.com and get the 10 scrolls for free. You can go to theobserverschair.com/audio, theobserverschair.com/audio, and download those files. This is scroll 4. And just embrace that affirmation. I am rare. And there is value in all rarity. Therefore, I am valuable. But my skills, my mind, my heart, and my body will stagnate, rot, and die, lest I put them to good use. I have unlimited potential. Only a small portion of my brain do I employ. Only a paltry amount of my muscles do I flex. 100-fold or more can I increase my accomplishments of yesterday, and this I will do beginning today. This is an interesting decision, not waiting to be acted upon, but choosing to act. Instead of lamenting what isn't, choose to create the most I can with what is. This fundamental decision will change a person's life. Nevermore will I be satisfied with yesterday's accomplishments. Nor will I indulge anymore in self-praise for deeds which in reality are too small to even acknowledge. So great deeds, don't even go there. I can accomplish far more than I have, and I will. For why should the miracle which produced me end with my birth? Why can I not extend this miracle to my deeds of today? And then he gives us this admonition. I'm on this earth for a purpose. That purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand. Henceforth, I will apply all my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I'll strain my potential till it cries for mercy. Sometimes we only give what's required. We go to work and we do our tasks and we go home. One more thing. We're always being acted upon in life. If we choose to act instead, we choose our life. we choose to make the most we can with what we have, that's when we create the miracle. I am nature's greatest miracle. From my birth to where I am, and have I at this point been waiting for permission from someone to finally come alive and to act? Have I let fear dictate my life? Have I? What would happen if we applied all our efforts and strained our potential till it cried for mercy? And then he teaches us a key foundational principle for doing this. He says, I will concentrate my energy on the challenge of the moment, and my actions will help me forget all else. What does he mean by that? The problems of my home will be left in my home. I will think not of my family when I'm in the marketplace, for this will cloud my judgment. If you're working and feeling guilty about, for example, if you're a mom and you're doing a home-based business and you're doing your work and you're feeling guilty because you feel like you should be with your children, it clouds your judgment. You're not fully present. And then he says, so too will the problems of the marketplace be left in the market, and I will think not of my profession when I'm in my home, for this will dampen my love. So when we're with our family, in that example of a mom working a home-based business, when she's home with her children, totally present, not doing this with the phone every 5 minutes or every 3 minutes, looking at notifications. Oh, I need to get back to that person. Oh, that person's, all that dialogue dampens the love. It's discernible by the child. What an incredible piece of advice. You may have a carpet commute in your home, which means your business may be conducted from your home. And with COVID, many of us are working from our home anyway. It's so critical that when we're here, like right now in this space, that we're totally present. That when we're with a spouse or a companion or a child, we are totally present. There is no room in the marketplace for my family, nor is there room in my home for the market. Each I will divorce from the other, and thus I'll remain wedded to both. Separate must they remain, or my career will die. This is a paradox of the ages. So our invitation is to take the wet blanket off the flame that's been burning, that uniqueness that we have, and start displaying it. That we take our rarity and we embrace it. We take our clay, we create the most we can with it. We strain our potential till it cries for mercy, and we do so keeping our home and our business separate. We have, I'll do it with my hands, a life and a business. We don't put our life inside the business. That's like snorkeling in manure. We want to keep our life and our business separated. So, I've been given eyes to see and a mind to think. Now I know the greatest secret of life. For I perceive at last that all my problems, discouragements, and heartaches are in truth great opportunities in disguise. They are our teachers. They've been given to us so that we can take our clay and create the most we can with that clay. I'll no longer be fooled by the garments they wear, for mine eyes are opened. I will look beyond the cloth. I will not be deceived. I remember I was in a gym on a treadmill reading this, and it was October 31st, Halloween. Yeah, the kids come in their Halloween costumes. They look ghoulish, but they're children underneath that cloth, if you will. And so are our problems. They are our teachers. Let us embrace them. Let us not be deceived by the cloth they wear. No beast, no plant, No wind, no rain, no rock, no lake has the same beginning as I. For I was conceived in love and brought forth with a purpose. In the past, I have not considered this fact. Could that be true for you? I have a purpose. Oh, I've not considered that. But it will henceforth shape and guide my life. Let us make the choice today to move from that dialogue of questioning our worth and worthiness and hanging on to past mistakes. Let us use those mistakes or challenges or frustrations as problems. Let's get through them and then use them as empathetic reference points to better understand what another person is going through so that we can listen more empathetically. Let us embrace our uniqueness. Well, I'm an introvert. Well, really? Did you know introverts are natural observers? Unfortunately, many also have a lot of negative dialogue, so they're observing through the lens of their negative dialogue. We get rid of that and decide to show up in our uniqueness as an observer. You can become the most powerful, intentional creators by learning how to intrinsically validate other people. Listen, those of you who are extroverts, learning to slow down and just be present, not needing to finish every sentence, not filling every void when there's silence, just being. Let us embrace that uniqueness. Let us take our clay and create the most we can with it, so that when the time comes, and it will, we leave this planet, we'll do so without any regrets. Thanks, everyone. It's so good to be back from Maui and to be with all of you. I highly recommend that you schedule some time to get rest on a regular basis. It was so beautiful. It wasn't like we just went and slept all day. We really had a wonderful time refreshing. I came back refreshed. Isn't that awesome? Highly recommend it. Blessings to all. We'll see you next Monday when we take on I'll live this day as if it is my last. Scroll 5. Really being present in the now. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.